I'm not one of them mainstream cunts, I'm that one full of pain and love.
Whoa. Hey guys, we're back, and listen, a lot's happened, man, and as you're gonna see in the video, you know, we have a lot of stuff to go through. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up, an update on where I'm at and stuff. Listen, I'm thinking of doing a merch drop very soon, okay? Yes, that's what I said, a fucking merch drop, man. Yep, we're gonna have some stickers, we're gonna have some t-shirts, we're gonna have it all, man. And yeah, if you guys are interested, link in the description, you know what I mean? I'm sponsoring this mushroom tea, or should I say mushroom blend, which is good for your cognitive up in your head. Okay, so anybody that wants to check that out, it's in the bio, man. What can I say? Me, I take this stuff every single fucking morning, man. I take this stuff every morning, and it helps me focus, helps me throughout the day, and it's, I'd say, more beneficial than just your cup of joe in the morning, mate. You know, it gives that little extra push that you need, and yeah, it kind of keeps my mind focused. I find it hard to focus, especially because I got ADD, and you know, I'm stuck to this, well, I have an addiction with escapism. That's why I make videos, and that's why I watch videos. But this helps me focus, you know? I mean, this is just an addition in your arsenal. Discipline comes a long way, but it's good to have this in your arsenal, so check it out.
There's no point being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
I love that, I love that. I got one joke to tell you, right? This is one of my jokes that I was doing on stage. It's about cerebral palsy, which is ironic. So I want to see if you found it funny. If you don't find it funny, then it's a terrible fucking joke. But one of the questions that I always ask myself, I was like, you know what would be really cool to watch? Two people with cerebral palsy in a boxing match. It'd be like Tyrannosaurus Rex is duking it out.
Well, it would be like that, but I also have to think it'd be really, really, really funny if you had a guy making a milkshake that had Parkinson's. That'd be funny. I'm gonna say that everybody should be really good to one another, because like that's what you should do. Be awesome, stay safe, love everybody. But don't forget to love a bit of yourself too. You're a good person.
Jesus Christ, Moses. Is that the police? Where I live.
Drifting! Woo!
Don't be sorry, sweetheart. I'm not sorry. Pains make you grow. Pains make you grow stronger. So don't feel sorry for me.
Attention everyone! Run for your lives! Robots have taken over the world!
Paganism in of itself is more of a spectrum of religions. It's basically the most down-to-earth description of it is a religion that has multiple gods.
Kind of like Hinduism in a way.
Kind of like Hinduism in a way. Hinduism can be described as a pagan religion, but not quite, because it's more centralized, if that makes any sense. Paganism is not very centralized. And the most common form of paganism nowadays is Nordic pagan, which is belief in Odin, Thor, Freya, Loki, all the Nordic gods. I myself am a Roman pagan.
Roman pagan. So when you say Roman pagan, what is the Roman pagan gods in that sense? Because I mean, Nordic gods are obviously the Viking and
Yeah,
the Swiss
Vikings,
and stuff. So
so-
what would the Roman gods be essentially?
Jupiter, Mars, Venus. I'm actually part of. It's really funny because different sects of Roman paganism are called cults, because that's where the word cult comes from. It's a sect. I'm part of the cult Mars Ultor, which is followers of Mars. Mars isn't the god of war, he's the god of conflict. And so I believe that conflict is a way of life. And to live life is to make way through conflicts and succeed and be successful and be victorious over those small personal conflicts rather than big, huge nations going to war. A god that's more associated with war is actually Juno, Jupiter's wife, which is really funny because she's also the goddess of marriages.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's why a lot of marriages probably have conflict as well.
Yeah. But yeah, Mars is very much personal to me because I've grown up with a lot of conflict in life.
Do you find peace in this kind of group?
Yeah, I find peace definitely with people who are similar to me. And it's very interesting to hear people that are part of, Jupiter Service, which is the cult that follows Jupiter, respecting authority. But it isn't so much respecting authority as in someone above you, it's respecting authority as in authority of life. So, the universe has authority over you, you can't control nature, nature is its own thing. So, in the Mars Collective, there's not many prayers, you don't really pray, but there are a few hymns, and they're mostly war hymns, because again, he is very much associated with war. One of the biggest ones is Mars Ultor, Roma Invictus, Pater Jupiter, which basically means fight for Mars, so Rome will be unconquerable, for he is the son of Jupiter. And basically that would be chanted while you were marching to war or in a triumph, which was basically a huge military parade. But a lot of the times, soldiers who would follow Mars would, say just random stuff to do with the battle they were in, if they were in a triumph. One of the most popular ones was actually sung during Caesar's triumph after he conquered Gaul, which was "Hail Mars, women and men of Gaul, hide your husbands, hide your wives. Caesar is coming for them all," which had a lot of sexual undertones in it rather than malicious undertones. It was very much.
At the same time, as fucked up as he sounds, the main reason for gay sex in prison is for domination, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that if he's talking about dominating other people, then maybe the sexual undertones was a form
Yeah,
of
that's what it
domination.
was. I wasn't sure if you were. The actual quote is "Caesar will fuck them all." I wasn't sure if you were fine with me putting that in your video.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
But the actual line is, "Women and men of Gaul, hide your husbands, hide your wives, Caesar will fuck them all." That was the actual line. And
Well, isn't it ironic that Caesar was killed by his own people? So was that like a blessing from other god collectives?
So, Caesar was the Pontifex Maximus, which is basically the leader of all of the sects. And how he was killed was because he was Pontifex Maximus, the leader of the religion, but he was also dictator. And dictator back then basically had a completely different meaning than it does now. It's basically, think of it like a president above the president, if that makes any sense. And he wasn't killed by the common workers, he was killed by the rich because of the policies he put in place, and their deaths in the Roman sect is actually being seen as divine justice, because where he was murdered, people think he was killed in the Roman Senate building itself. He was actually murdered in the Temple of Saturn. and you are not meant to bring any weapons or cause any harm in a temple of Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, or Neptune. Otherwise, you will have the same done onto you. Which, and it's sort of poetic because all of the people who killed him died in a similar way to how they killed him. Stabbed multiple times, beheaded, hung, crucified. They all had their own sort of poetic justice for killing him in a temple of Saturn.
See, the real drama is in the past when there's been things that have required vigilantes to rise up and revolutions to start, and that is that it's terrible for everybody.
Yes.
You know, it's like you take up arms against, you know, if you think about the American Civil War, right, you think, well, what happens here is that you get one country fighting, the only thing is you get dead people. And we don't want that. So how do you form a revolution how do you form a peaceful revolution?
This is the thing, right? And this is what I've learned is, do you know what cognitive dissonance is?
Well, that's where, you know, you get told all sorts of stuff and you don't know whether to believe what you know anymore. Is it something like that?
Yeah, something like that. So basically it's like you have a certain belief and somebody else has a belief that challenges your belief.
Yeah.
And you have that inner conflict to either accept this new information or try to either push your information onto somebody else or avoid it altogether, right? This is how we grow as a society, but it's also the reason why we have arguments. It's also, you know, for many things. So it's like, you know how they say, you know, like you have to break a few eggs to make an omelette, right?
Right, yeah.
And you have to cause some conflict to create resolution, which is fucked up, but that's how society's done it through millenniums.
Well,
so essentially that could be part of our growth as a society to evolve, you know?
Yeah, well that makes a lot of sense. You've got to get people out of their comfort zone to find out what they really want.
Like, comment, subscribe to this guy.
That's the shield of Caesar's legion, surrounded by the symbols of the gods. So that's Sol, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, Terra, goddess of the earth, Luna, goddess of the stars, goddess of the moon, Mars, Saturn himself, and Mercury, the messenger god. Yeah, my band.
What's your band, bro?
Voidborn. We're a cosmic metal band. We're based in the southeastern suburbs. We have an Instagram, it's called Voidburn_official, no caps.
So how do you spell that, just for the idiots out there?
Okay, so Void, V-O-I-D, Born, B-O-R-N-E, and then _official.
Alright, done.
This one should warm us up a bit. Thank you. That was the rest of the tune. That was a polka from Ireland.